All right, guys, what's going on? Steven Mandek with Clutch Moving Company, and today we are going to be breaking down and listening to some of our team sales calls. So every week, what I do is I listen to our team sales calls. We use an application called CallRail, and then we use that for training purposes. So what I'm going to do right now is I basically pick a couple of sales calls a week, and I listen to the sales calls with some of my sales reps, and I see how we can improve. Sales is always an improving skill set. Even with myself, I always like to improve my skill set because there's all different types of clients that you're going to face, so not every client is the same. But the structure and the methodology is pretty much very similar for every single sales call. So let's go ahead and get into it, and we're going to go ahead and break down the first sales call. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give suggestions and stop at certain points so we can go ahead and break down and do some different things or suggestions that I would do. And at the end of the sales call, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and grade it on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest. So let's get straight into it.
This call is being recorded. Please hold for the next available agent. We understand that moving.
Good afternoon. Clutch Moving Company. This is Randy. How may I help?
Hi, I'm calling to see if you guys are available for a move this weekend.
This weekend. Are we talking about tomorrow or the next coming weekend?
Tomorrow or Monday, but ideally tomorrow.
Tomorrow. All right. Let me check our calendar. Okay. So I'll be needing some basic information regarding your move. So I will be needing a profile. I'll be creating a profile in the system, and our system calculates, and it will be sending your estimate as soon as we get off the call. All right. So tomorrow, I'm just opening the calendar. The 14th, yes, we still have. Yeah, I can still squeeze you in for tomorrow. I'll be needing some information, like I mentioned. I didn't catch your name, ma'am.
My name's Isabel.
Okay, so here is my first suggestion. He said that we can go ahead and squeeze you in for tomorrow. Sounds good. He's trying to create urgency. But what I would do is I would give them the exact amount of left openings. I would say we only have one more slot available. The customer needs to urgently move the day after. I'm sure it's when I'm listening to the sales call, this sales call was on a Saturday. So there could be a couple of things on why they didn't have this already booked. Number one, another moving company could have canceled on them. Number two, they were just late and forgot to go ahead and pick a moving company. So what I would do to create the urgency, either on Sunday or Monday, look, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, we only have one more slot available. Give them the time and let them know that we pretty much are fully booked. It pushes more authority on us as a moving company, so we kind of have them backed up in a corner, so they don't have too many options, and we don't want to get them off of the call. At the end of this call, you want to go ahead and create the value, letting the customer know that you only have a couple of slots available, or even one more slot available. So, first suggestion, that's what I would do to go ahead and create the urgency and then build value. So at the end of the call, you can let them know that you want to go ahead and lock them in because you only have one more slot available. So you're going to set this up for the close with only having one more slot available. All right, so let's go ahead and get back into it and listen to the rest of the sales call.
Isabel?
Yes. What time can they come tomorrow?
We can come as early as between 8:30 to 9:30.
Okay, I probably need something a little bit later just because I'm still packing up if you guys are available.
Okay. One, I can schedule an afternoon around 2 o'clock. Probably 2 o'clock, the latest. In the afternoon.
Okay.
Would that be okay?
Okay.
All right.
That's fine.
So, I'll be sending an email.
All right, so here's a second suggestion. Our company, we have two typical time slots. We have an 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. arrival, or we have a 12 to 5 p.m. arrival. This customer is suggesting and wanting a time that we typically don't do. Now, from the look of our calendar, because I actually looked at our calendar before this, so I could kind of get the understanding of our sales rep to see what he was thinking. So we had an open calendar the very following day, and they want to go ahead and do a time slot that we typically don't do. Here's another thing that I would do to go ahead and create more value is, look, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, we typically only have two time slots that we go ahead and book our customers. What I can do for you, you see how I'm giving some authority. What I can do for you is I can go ahead and put you in at 2 p.m. We typically don't do that for the customer, but since this is urgent, since this is last minute, I'm gonna go ahead, call my dispatch team to see if I can get you locked in by 2 p.m. How does that sound? So again, you're creating value and you're also caring for the customer and doing something for the customer, knowing that you have the next day wide open. But again, you're building value for this customer. So that's what I would do. All right, so that's the second suggestion. Let's go ahead and get back into the call.
After our call, what is the email I could use to send it?
My email is my first and last name, Isabel Rosales, ISABEL ROSALES 493 at Gmail.
493 at Gmail.
All right, so another suggestion. Number 3, asking the customer for information. Now, a lot of the times, these customers are going to be unreceptive to give you their information because they're probably getting like anywhere from 3 to 5 quotes from different moving companies. And a lot of the times when I've been on sales calls is that they don't want to give you their information. They just want to get the hourly rate, whatever it is. Now with this customer, she was, receptive to give it back. But other customers, you're probably not going to get that all the time. So a way to kind of transition into that asking for their information is, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, may I have your email so I can go ahead and send you over a detailed quote to your email? How does that sound? Right? You transition to it more smoother versus straight up asking them for their email address because you justify it. The reason why I need your email is so I can send you over this detailed quote. A lot of them are going to say, oh, okay, perfect. But when you just go ahead and ask them for the email, there's no justification behind it. So sending them email or else let them know why you need their email. So third suggestion, let's get back into the call.
Email.
Yeah, I know it's kind of a mouthful.
It's okay. I created much worse names of my email back in the day. Okay, and yeah, all right. So you said just moving. You won't be needing any help from packing. Just moving.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Okay. And how big would be the move? Is it a 1-bedroom apartment or 2-bedroom?
It's a 2-bedroom apartment. I need to make a stop at. Can they do 2 stops? Like because I'm moving to somewhere for temporary, so I only need a few boxes to the place we're staying, but then I need to move some of the place to storage. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we can arrange that. Okay. But first, by the way, for our record, how did you find out about us? Through Google, referral?
Google. Yep.
Google. All right. Thanks. All right. And may I have the address where we're going to pick up the items?
1395 Brookline Loop, Brook. Line, Loop.
Line. That's in Pleasanton.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so apartment. Do you have the unit number for this apartment?
9104.
9104.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, and so this will be on the which floor is this one? Are we talking about stairs on this one?
No, first floor.
On the first floor only. Okay. So there are no stairs.
No stairs.
Okay. Right. Okay. Next. Okay. So and the drop-off location. Let's add the one that you were saying later. Okay. So let's just find the address where it's going to be drop off. The main one.
Sure.
Okay. So what's the address for the drop off?
It's 2390 Mariner Square Drive.
Mariner Square Drive in Alameda.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this is a storage. Did you say?
That's the storage, yeah.
Okay. And okay, storage. All right. So will there be a loading dock, or is there a drive, a parking lot available there?
I know there's a parking lot. I'm not sure about the loading dock, though.
Oh, okay. Is it far from? You know how many feet from the parking lot to the storage?
You know,
Maybe
I
200 feet?
have no idea.
Okay. All right. Just say that one. Okay. All right. So finishing.
Okay, so here's my fourth suggestion. Asking the customer how many feet from the storage. A lot of the times a customer will not really know how many feet is from the actual door to the storage. We're not really, they're not the professional at the end of the day. The reason why they call us is because we're the professionals. So what we want to do in that case is we want to go ahead and take a look at their address on Google Maps. Now for us, we have a CRM, which is Smart Moving, and we can take a look and see how far that is if we get the address. We want to be able to give them what, as the experts, because we're the moving experts, so we give them what it is, right? It's a question to, some people can ask a question, but you sound more of a professional when you lead off with the 200, okay, it looks like it's going to probably be 100 to 200 feet. So we want to go ahead and lead with that. But yeah, if you don't have a CRM, you could go ahead and look it up on Google Maps, get the address, and see where, the area kind of looks like. A lot of the times, customers will not know. A lot of the times, customers don't even know all the stuff that they have. So knowing how far it is from the actual loading dock to the actual place, it's going to be very hard for them to know. So we want to go ahead and make sure that we're the expert. We take a look at it. We go the extra mile. We go ahead and put that in there for them in our system.
The profile right here. Okay. And then let's add a stop. What is the address of the stop? The first stop. I mean, where we're going to be dropping off some. You said boxes. Only boxes.
Yeah, it's 1430 8th Avenue, and that's in Oakland.
8th Avenue? Is it 8th? ACE?
Number 8.
Oh. 8th Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
In Oakland?
Yes.
Okay. And this is a house that we're going to be dropping off?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Alright. So, from Brooklyn Loop to the 8th Avenue, and then the final stop would be the Mariner Square where the storage is, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's add the inventory. Okay. Hold on a second. I'm just creating that one. Okay. So how big is? Let's go to the first bedroom. How big is the bed?
It's a queen size bed.
Queen size bed.
Okay, so I want to go back to the previous conversation. There was a lot of time kind of putting everything together and just kind of getting to know the customer within that short amount of time. Within the first couple of minutes, before you get into their inventory and before you go ahead and walk them through what they have, because you're telling them your personal belongings, you're telling them your address, and you're telling them where you're moving. Okay, that's personal information. Before that, or it could be even after that. So after you get in the information, create their profile. While you're doing that, you can go ahead and build rapport with that customer. So once you get into asking them for their inventory and more of their personal stuff, they feel comfortable. So build the trust in the very beginning, build that rapport, ask them questions. Oh yeah, Alameda, what's the reason why you're moving? 1 bedroom, moving some stuff to storage. Kind of coming across, just, being curious, wanting to help them out. Just talking about certain things to build trust. I think she said she was moving from a certain place, Oakland to Alameda. That's probably like 30 minutes away. Oh yeah, were you moving for work? Is it closer to work? Something along those lines. So you want to go ahead and build trust with them and then start that conversation with them and just understand reasons why they're moving. It's going to make them feel comfortable, right? So you build the trust once you are getting their information and then before you ask them all those personal questions. So I think that was the 5th suggestion. So let's go ahead and get back into it.
All right. And are we disassembling the wood frame, the bed frame?
Yeah.
The bed frame. All right. How about side tables or end tables?
No, it's just going to be the bed, the bed frame, and then I have a dining room table.
Okay. Right.
And a TV. And the rest will be boxes.
Boxes. Okay. So the dining table, are we talking about a 4-seater dining table?
It's got 2 benches.
Okay. Bench. Okay, 2 bench. Dining. There are no chairs, right? Just a bench. Bench.
Yeah.
All right. So what else are we moving? You mentioned dining table. You said it was 2 bedroom. What's the size of the second bed?
The second bed is just like a baby bed.
Oh, okay. A small one.
Yeah, just a mattress. Yeah.
Okay. How do I? It's like a bed bunk, something like that.
No, just a mattress.
Mattress. Okay. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Is a not a futon mattress. All right. Say a small one, right? A single bed. Let's say a small one.
Mm-hmm. Like a crib mattress, yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else? In the living room, the sofa.
No, we're leaving the sofa. I'm taking just 1 TV, and the rest is going to be boxes.
Okay.
The TV, 70 inches.
70 inch. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And with this comes with a TV stand? Or is it mounted?
Yeah, it's on the wall.
That's the wall. Okay, we'll unmount that one. Okay. So that's it. There are no items. Others. And
No other
do you have a
free
number
items.
of boxes left?
Mm,
Approximately how many boxes
I want
do you
to say
have?
like 10 boxes. 10 boxes.
And there'll be more.
Okay, so let's refrain from using the word approximately. Unless it's a binding estimate, or else they're huge boxes that take a lot of time to go ahead and, move. Boxes don't take a lot of time to move. So whether it's 5, 10, 15, an extra 10, 15 more boxes, whatever it may be, it's not going to take a whole lot of time. So when you use the word approximately, psychologically the customer thinks, oh okay, cool. I need to go ahead and get the exact amount of boxes. So it's going to kind of cause them confusion, right? We're kind of scaring the customer in that sense. So we want to say, okay, just an estimate. How many boxes do you think you're going to have? It could be, less or more. It's not going to make a huge difference. What I really need to do is just go ahead and put it in the system so I can have it in there, right? But doesn't need to be approximately. Psychologically, scares the customer. I think that's a 6th suggestion.
So like 15, let's say 15. You said you're not finished yet with
With the packing.
so let's say 15. 15 boxes?
I want to say more like 10, but I mean, I think, we can say 15. It's between 10 and 15. I think you're right.
Okay, all right. So going back and forth with the boxes, 10 or 15, not going to make much of a huge difference. So no need to kind of fight the customer with that. Just let them know, hey, okay, 10 or 15 boxes, no problem. On average, again, we're the professional. On average, a 2-bedroom can be anywhere from these amount of boxes versus these amount of boxes. So we don't have to be super approximate on there. If it's a big item like a piano or like a credenza or like a curio cabinet, then we could be more accurate. But, some boxes, things like that, not a huge deal. Just go ahead and build trust with the customer. Hey, whether it's 10 or 15 boxes, it's not going to make a huge difference. Our quotes for local moves are on an hourly rate basis. So how long everything takes will basically dictate the total cost of your move. Okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. That is the 6th suggestion.
That's it. Okay, let's say 15. So make sure, because I want to make sure we're kind of what kind of truck are we going to be bringing with all the items.
Okay.
So these are medium boxes, right?
Yes, they're medium boxes. I think I have like 4 large boxes and the rest medium.
Okay. All right. Okay. I have to add that one. Okay. All right. Okay. So this is here's the process looks from start to finish. So while it's calculating, so you know how exactly what you will be paying for before you book your move. The day before you move, you'll receive a confirmation call confirming all the details of your move to make sure, or maybe 30 minutes to make sure nothing has changed. And again, we will be calling you prior to our to the move. The moving team will reach out to you, say maybe around an hour or 30 minutes again, to give you an estimated time of arrival. So you're ready to go once our team arrives. Once our crews arrive, the team will do a walkthrough to your place and see all the inventory. Have you signed our paperwork to establish the time the job starts, since we are solely based on hourly rate. So once that is done, we get to work by protecting your necessary things, like your furniture, certain cases in your house to make sure nothing gets damaged once we start moving the items. We'll be using blankets and shrink wraps to avoid the damages in your furniture. We'll use mattress bags to transport your mattress so it doesn't get dirty. We'll also disassemble any items that should securely move them, such as the bed frames. And of course, we're going to be unmounting the TV. Once all your items are ready, we're loaded to our truck to safely strap any loose items and transport them to your new place. Once we get to your new place, we'll build any furniture that was taken apart and we'll stage your furniture if it's needed to the correct place. So, and since this is storage, probably we'll just leave it as it is, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So once everything is unloaded in the truck, we'll do a final walkthrough, make sure everything is there. We'll remove the shrink wraps and materials used to protect the furniture, and we'll then have you sign our paperwork so we can calculate the final cost of the move. All right. So.
Okay. 7th suggestion. So, going through that sounds like it's very, very scripted. We don't have to use a script word for word. What it is a guide to kind of guide us within the right direction. This is the paint a picture part of the sales call. We're painting a picture, letting them know that this is what we're going to do. You said you have 2 beds. What we do with our service is we go ahead and we take apart your beds. We know that it takes a lot of time to go ahead and do those things, but that's a part of our service. We'll go ahead and wrap your pieces of furniture with blankets and shrink wrap, so nothing gets damaged on the way from point A to point B. Building the picture, more energy, and sounding like you're building value for the customer, right? It just sounded like we read this right off of a script, and there's no emphasis, no energy, no tonality that goes up or down or anything like that. We're just one breath of energy reading the script. So what we want to do, use the script as a guide and flow with it. We don't have to go right off of the script. Have fun with the customer. Let them know that these are the things we're going to do and things of that sort. It would really, really help if there was rapport built before we got into this part. So if we had some rapport with them, if they really cared about their TV or, any antique items or anything like that, then we could build some more rapport. So an example would be, oh yeah, you got this TV. I think they said it was like a 70-inch TV. Oh great, that's a huge TV. Awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and unmount your TV, and we actually protect that with blankets and shrink wrap. It's a really big TV. We don't want it to get damaged on the way from point A to point B. I don't want you to miss any of your really good shows that you watch on a Monday night basis, right? So just kind of flowing along with it and having fun with that sales script. Okay, so what is that, 7th, 8th suggestion? All right, so let's get him back into the call. We're almost done with the call, so we're going to pretty much be getting to the fun part where it's going to be the close.
For that, we will be needing 1 truck with 3 persons or 3 crew. So that's $270 for the whole crew per hour. The fuel charge will be just a little bit of a long way. It's a $50 per minimum, but for this distance, it's $123.25. Travel time, it's $175.50, and the truck fee of one-time payment or a one-time fee is $199. By the way, Ms. Rosales, with all the items that you have, all the shipments, do you know how much is the value of it? So just to make sure we're going to be having a...
Okay, so listening to it, actually, let's finish up what my representative was going to say.
Full value protection of those shipments. Do you have it like $2,000? The rest? How much do you think the value of all the items that you have?
Got it. Is that going to be, so that's going to be an extra charge for the insurance or something like that?
Yes, so we need to, just in case if there's any damage that we had mishandled that.
Okay, so my representative is going to sell full value protection for the shipment. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to go ahead and include that part of the sales process when we're getting the information from the customer, right? Because if we're selling it at the end, we have to close the customer essentially 2 times. We just went ahead and read off all the charges for the pricing. We read off the truck fee, we read off the hourly rate, we read off this. Now, if we're selling the valuation after, that's essentially closing the customer 2 times. Why not bundle everything together, close the customer 1 time, and already provide the value for what full value protection is? We asked them, what is the value of the shipment? We just need this for liability and protection purposes. So what we could have done is we could have put that on when we're reading down the pricing for what we had quoted them. At the end of it, it could have been like, okay, and your full value protection, which covers loss, damage, replacement, is so-and-so dollars. But we don't want to go ahead and do it after we already read them all that pricing. We want to go ahead and include it. So we close them 1 time instead of 2. Okay? And that's our 9th suggestion.
Items we can repair or replace. But you have the options to opt out. But again, we're just going to want to make a full value protection of your items. How much do you think your rest? That depends. How much would you gauge the value of the whole shipment? $2,000, $3,000.
You said what? 3,000?
Is it 3,000 or 4,000?
It's. I mean,
maybe
yeah, we can say that.
Okay, around $3,000.
Right.
Okay. All right. So there's just $62.07 other than the value protection. Okay. All right. And yeah. So I'll be sending you that estimate. I'll book you in for tomorrow afternoon. And however, there will be a discount. There will be a discount, by the way, for booking with me on weekend and the sudden booking. So I'll add 10% discount on that. Hold on a second.
Bye. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, so this is the 10th suggestion on this phone call. So we are giving the customer 10% off without using it as leverage. Okay? So we don't even know what the customer thinks about that price, right? What if they thought that it was a very, very cheap price, very, very low price? We didn't give them the time to react. What we wanted to do was go ahead and give them that and then ask them, what do you think about that price? I'm going to go ahead and get you booked in. And then if they would have given us an objection, what we would have done is, okay, awesome. What I can do is I can go ahead and use this coupon that I don't ever use. And I got it because I want to make sure you're taken care of tomorrow. If we would have built value and asked them the questions by creating rapport, why the reason they were moving today, we could have used that as ammunition to use that 10% off. So an example would be like, okay, your movers canceled on you. I'm super sorry about that. Our movers are never going to do that. And what I can do for you, since you're going to go ahead and move with us and you're moving last minute, is I'm going to go ahead and use this 10% coupon for you, right? So we could have created a story for the customer that we're going to go ahead and use the 10% off. Here's the thing. In my comparison, it's basically giving them just money out of your pocket because it's 10% off. And they're not giving anything to us back, right? The reason why I would go ahead and use the 10% off is because they're giving something to us back. They're giving us business back, right? So that's the only reason why I would use the 10%. I give you this, you give me that, right? So we shouldn't be using the 10% off unless it's a closing tool, unless it's going to get us to the next step of the sale, right? Make us more competitive. But giving it right off the bat is a big no-no. 10th suggestion. So let's get back into it.
I forgot about it. Almost. It left my mind. Okay. So this is the first discount on that. Sorry. It's just kind of really had so many calls today. All right. And yeah, and that's it. I'll be sending you the estimate. And any other moving companies, they would require 50% deposit on the move. For us, we're just going to be asking you $100 to lock you in for tomorrow afternoon.
Okay. Is it possible for you to send me a link for me to pay that along with the complete
the
estimate?
estimated price? Yep. So from that estimated price, you can view it online. There's a link there, view estimate. And then you can have also the link to pay for the deposit amount. Also, tick the box if you want to opt out for the full value protection. That's if you wanted to. But again, I suggest not to because that's your protection for the whole shipment. All right. Ms. Rosales, I have everything covered? Do you have anything else you want to
perfect.
ask?
Thank you
if there's
so
any
much.
questions,
Really
you can send me as well.
Okay, 11th suggestion, right? The customer wants to go ahead and take a look at it and ask for the deposit link. The move is the next day, either Sunday or Monday. And I already know because today is Monday and the customer didn't book with us. So this was a closable sale. What we could have done was we could, again, created more urgency. Look, Mr. or Mrs. Customer, your move is tomorrow or Monday. We have a fully booked calendar. I don't have any crews to go ahead and send out. What I need to know is it okay that we can go ahead and book you today? And I'm going to go ahead and take the deposit. So we got to push it. Be more aggressive with that sale. What we could have done as well too is that if they want to look over the estimate, have the customer pull up the estimate right in front of you. Look over it together. Because this is a very urgent move. It's the very next day. We have to use our resources to go ahead and get this scheduled. Again, if we would have had created the story from the very beginning saying we only have 1 or 2 more slots available, doesn't that create more urgency for the customer to make a decision right now? Right? If we only have 1 or 2 slots available, we have our authority higher, and psychologically, it makes the customer think more urgently. Because if not, who's going to go ahead and move them for that day, right? The call was on a Saturday, and it was an afternoon call, so there was probably not a lot of other moving companies that were going to take the call, so there's less competition there. So we want to go ahead and make sure that we create the urgency from the very beginning, because again, what I was saying in the beginning of this video is that you can go ahead and use that leverage at the end of the call. So this was a closable sale that we could have easily closed if we would have created a better story and created more urgency. So I think there's 1 more minute left in the call, so let's go ahead and finish it out.
All right. So, Mr. Rosales, thank you so much. Have a great day.
All right, you too.
All right, last suggestion. What we could have done here, if we would have left it off at that, could have been like, so when can I expect you to go ahead and pay this deposit? When can I go ahead and follow up with you to go ahead and do this? Because I have to schedule a team the next day. We're running out of time here. Right? If we didn't create the urgency, what I can almost guarantee is that this customer went and called another moving company, probably got a cheaper rate, and from there went ahead and booked with them because they were just shopping. We made it available for them to shop on price. We had the opportunity to have them shop on urgency. But again, we're not the cheapest moving company in the Bay Area. So since we're not the cheapest moving company in the Bay Area, it allowed our customer, to shop on price. So if we would have created the urgency, we would have been able to close this customer and get them moved that very following day. I think this move probably could have been $1,000 a move looking from that estimate, but it's okay. That's the reason why we listen to these sales calls, and I'm going ahead and breaking down these videos so our sales reps can go ahead and learn from this. None of this was to be derogatory. Everything that we're doing is to increase our sales closing percentage, increase our profits at the end of the day, have a higher return on investment on this marketing source. So this is essentially going to be showed to our sales reps and letting them know some of the suggestions that we could have done. Now, this sales rep, more of a newer sales rep, so it sounds like, I think this was the first weekend that he was on without our sales manager on this working the same day as him. So he does need a little bit of work. I would definitely go ahead and grade this on the lower end of the scale. There's a lot of things that he could have done better. But, he's trying, he's going ahead and moving with the customer and made it to the final sales process. So all of these things can be fixed. That's the reason why we're doing it. But there you go. And there you have it. One of our sales calls from one of our sales reps, fully broken down. Steven Mandak, Mr. Clutch, is out.